Hola, this is Armando Sanchez and Rodrigo Espinosa Najera, and we're here to talk about NFL 2019. Now, what is different about the show, Rodrigo? What is different about the show? You're in Mexico City, and I'm in Los Angeles.
Yes. Well, so greetings from Mexico City. Sunny Mexico City. We are have 88 degrees this afternoon, and it's a very nice Sunday evening afternoon.
Sunday afternoon. Okay, let's start talking. Yeah, you and I have been dealing with this issue for years now. As you know, I'm a Patriots fan, and I have no idea how you became a New England fan and how you stay connected in Mexico City, but I'm learning a lot from you. So tell us the history. How did you come out to go for Green Bay? I mean, it's not anywhere near Mexico City.
I know. Well, let me tell you something. As I have told you once, I remember where I was only 9 years old when the very first time I had. I remember the Super Bowl 13, Dallas Cowboys against the Pittsburgh Steelers. I was only 9 years old, and my father was a very big fan of the NFL. Unfortunately, he was a fan. He's still fan of the Minnesota Vikings. I couldn't understand that, but yes, because to take him against him, uh, I decided to go with the Dallas Cowboys, and well, I was follow fan of the Dallas Cowboys for a while, but when they were the real good Dallas Cowboys, the traditional conservative team with very uh, good principles, and the leader of the team, Tom Landry. And when they decide to go to fire him and turn into a very nasty organization, very rich, I know, very rich, but very nasty organization, I realized that football is more than that. Football is a philosophy, a lifestyle. So when that's why I became a Green Bay Packer fan, because I realized that the true spirit of the football, it's in the Green Bay Packers. You know that is when I realized they are a very small town football team, but the real spirit of football, it's in the Green Bay Packers. That's why I went, I turned to be a football a follower, a fan of the Green Bay Packers.
Okay, well, how do I get you to convince to switch over to a better team, the New England Patriots, and go to a winning team?
Well, it's true that they have been winners for a really long time, but they're in with certain suspicious
Oh,
seasons.
come on! You sound like come on, they have the rings to prove. You can't go with me with 1 year with
Well,
one thing. Yeah, you can't do that.
well, it was the issue of the footballs. It was the issue of the spy works on of the rest of the teams. This guy, the coach, uh, went over the rest of the teams. Very well. That's why I don't like the New England Patriots. They have been involved in some suspicious things that are beyond of the spirit and the philosophy of football. That's
Okay,
why
so
I don't
you're
like.
so you're trying to tell me nobody does it except them. That's what you're trying to tell me?
Well, things have changed a lot for many years. I remember, well, as I told you, I remember when when coaches couldn't get any information from the coaches on the upside of the stadium. And later, I remember very well one game. You know what? Danny Reeves, when he was coach of the Denver Broncos, he was the very first to use um, pictures of the positions along the game. I don't know if you remember, he was with Polaroids all over the stadium, taking pictures of the positions of the opposite team. Well, it was something that changed, and I remember the rest of the teams challenging them for that. But then now everybody does it. I
But
know.
everybody has a camera. You know, everybody can film anything anywhere at any time. And all of a sudden, oh my God, they're cheating, but we're not. I mean, come on. I can't go with that story.
Well, and something else that the referees, the referees are with them as well. That's something that everybody, well, that's something that everybody says.
Well, especially that last play. What was it? The play over in the New Orleans Saints. I mean, we all saw it on TV around the world, but they didn't see it. You know, they didn't call it. It was okay. You know, it's like even if you do have cameras, it doesn't seem to make any difference.
Yeah, it's true. It's true. Well, now you can see, well, technology has make a revolution on the game. I remember before the replays, uh, well, everything has changed. I know, but I truly believe that the NFL is something that must be an example, something that the the youngsters, children must follow as an example. Not because the money of being rich or famous, not for that. I think about the children to follow up on the good work and the hard work that takes you to very good results. That's what I like of the NFL because anytime anytime
I have a lot of problems with everything you're saying, but that's the nature of the show. First of all, it's a violent game. It's a violent
yes,
game.
I know.
You're out to tear the heart, the hearts and the head of the quarterback. You know, these guys are running across and they're getting bumped and hit and crashing into each other. And then how many things we don't see on TV of the violence that's going on. And then now you're talking about good morals for the children. I mean, how did you work that one out?
Life is violent, and children must learn about that because even if it's violent, there are rules.
Violent rules?
Yes, because if you, I don't know. Well, let me think. It's like if you can do it harder, you can do it. You can go forward. You have, as John Madden used to say, you have to give the 110%.
You're still not
That's what.
you're still not answering the question about the violence. You're just giving me percentages now. You're an economist. I know that. No. Don't get me around that. Oh, well, what's this? Rules of I don't know, war rules in war. You can only kill so many people. Well, what are we talking about here? It's a violent game.
It's a violent game. That's true. But only people, only the players with enough heart can do it. That's something that I realized too, because I have seen losers like Johnny Manziel who thought that playing in college that was easy for him, but when he went to NFL, everything turned around. He was Johnny Football, but he never really did what he did in college because he doesn't have a heart because he's still trying to get into the league. He doesn't have a heart, you know, and it's something about giving the heart, giving the all your good efforts and all your heart and all what you are for the good of your team. That's something that we learn about the NFL. Teamwork. Teamwork is something that it's a very good thing that the children learn about teamwork.
Well, why don't the kids get teamwork? You're in Mexico City. Why don't they get it through I don't know, soccer?
Well, soccer is different.
Okay,
I don't know
why
why.
is it
You know,
different? I don't see it.
yes, because soccer, there's always one guy who does everything, and there's only one guy who carries the team on his shoulders. In football, it's different. It's something that I like the NFL as well, because every team, all the 32 or 30 teams, have the same chance to win the every Sunday. Every single Sunday, there's a team who can win, even if this is not making very good numbers on the on the
You you you
season, but there's for the team
you
to win.
obviously have not been watching the Oakland Raiders, have you?
Oh yes, I have been watching them for a while. You know, the problem, I always have thought that the problem with the team is their own philosophy. Being the bad guys, come on, it doesn't rule anymore. It was on the 70s when they were the bad guys, but they were playing great. They were a really good team. You know, it was well, John Madden was the leader of a great team. Ken Stabler, well, he was great. Freddie Biletnikoff, come on, magic hands. But the philosophy took them to where they are now, mediocre team. Even if they bring stars, even if they move to Vegas, their philosophy is not running anymore in this 21st century. It's crazy. They're still living in the 70s. It's not anymore.
They're still living in the 70s. Wait a minute. So, do you know the season for the NFL in Mexico City? Who's going to go play down there this year?
Well, I I haven't checked yet, but I think it's the LA Rams. No, well, the LA Rams were going to play this last year, last
Oh,
season,
they went down there? Okay.
and but there was a problem with the Stack Stadium with the grass. The grass was a real mess. So the officers of the NFL decided not to come here because the grass was in very bad conditions. So that's why the game was finally in Los Angeles as it was scheduled first.
So, so, so why are
It
the
was one of the
NFL? Why is the
greatest
NFL going to Mexico?
of the season.
The Raiders. Yeah, I saw the Raiders in Mexico City too. Oh yeah. Since we're a little bit on the Raiders, do the Raider
Well,
people,
there's a
Raider
lot
followers in Mexico
of
also get all dressed up in black and white and all the costumes and all that?
because, as I told you, well, the most of the fans in Mexico City or most of the Mexico country, it's because on the 70s there were a lot of great teams as the Pittsburgh Steelers,
Hmm.
the uh, the Raiders, the Oakland Raiders, and later as well the Dallas Cowboys. But later the San Francisco 49ers, they got a lot of fans here in Mexico because all those years of Joe Montana, and that's why there's a lot of NFL fans here in Mexico. I think the 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 biggest team the fans are for Pittsburgh Steelers, Dallas Cowboys, 49ers, San Francisco 49ers, and I think those are the three teams that have the most of fans here in Mexico, and well, because they got they still have the memories of those teams of the 70s and the 80s, and well, that's good because uh, years before on the 50s in Mexico, soccer was not as big as is today. It was
Oh,
football, and in football in college, the National University, Polytechnic Institute, the School of Teachers, Normal, and as well the Army, the Navy, the YMCA, there and some other private universities had their own league, and it was in the 50s, and football had more fans than soccer. That's for sure.
I didn't
That's for
know
sure.
that. I didn't know that they even goes back to the 50s. I know that I once many years saw a picture of the UNAM, it said UNAM football team, and I thought, what? They're
Uh,
all dressed up
that's
and lined up and everything. I thought, I've never seen that before.
yes. Well, in this the teams I have told you at this moment were here only in Mexico City, but in Monterrey, the University of Nuevo León had their own football team too, and they were in the same league as those I mentioned a few minutes.
That's
Yes,
something new to me.
yeah. In college in the 50s, there were a lot of fans and many uh, teams of the universities and fans, and it was a really big thing here in Mexico. But after some time in the 60s, it started to decline, and soccer, the owners of the soccer league start to invest more money on that on the league on the soccer league, so that's why it overpassed the football in general.
Well, you mentioned the top three teams that are very major fans in Mexico. Um, Pittsburgh Steelers,
Dallas Cowboys.
Texas Tech, and Dallas Cowboys, and San Francisco. I didn't hear anything about the Packers, so I guess once again I'm
Yes,
inviting you to join the New England Patriots for
you know
2019.
why? You know why?
What?
You know why?
What?
I have. Let me tell you why.
Okay.
I got to this because first they still have this the nostalgic
What
memories of the
the
70s.
queso? The queso is the nostalgia. Queso
The
hats.
first,
Give me a break.
oh no, well, it was for the current followers or fans of these teams I told you, and the second is because they don't know a lot of football.
So tell me, yeah, be honest with me. Here, I'm gonna finally ask you. So, when your team plays, do you put a queso from Mexico on your hat? Are you one of those crazy fans? Ah, you're taking
I
the
do.
fifth on me on this one. I can see that. Yeah, I can see that. Oh yeah, man. But one day I gotta tell you, I gotta say this. I saw it for a split second, but I did see it. I saw they were scanning the people up on the audience at a Green Bay game,
Uh-huh.
and somebody was wearing
Yeah.
the green cheese with a sombrero on top. I thought I'd never seen that one before. So apparently, I understand it's becoming popular now.
And I have a poncho with the embroidery of the Green Bay Packers.
All right, we're getting to the end of the show, so we've got to cover one of the main issues. Okay, who's the better
Yes.
team this year? And we got to choose between my team and your team. Uh, I'll give you first shot at it.
Well, it's going to be a very hard year for the Green Bay Packers. New coach, new players, new structures, new playbook. So I'd be glad if we if we became again for the 14th time champions. But it's going to be hard to do it for sure. But I don't lose the hope. I can lose the hope on making the big game and being champions again for the 14th time. But obviously, it's going to be hard for the Patriots again too because Gronkowski is gone. Um, for sure, it's going to be the last year of Tom Brady. Yes, and well, I don't know. Besides that, the the no calls and on interferences is going to be replay, so they will not have much chances to cheat. And
The
I don't know.
Packers cheat?
But
You're talking about the
no,
Packers cheating? What do you mean no?
no, the Patriots. But well, the Packers. It's going to be a hard year for the Packers, but I think we're gonna make it.
So you're gonna be playing, pero it doesn't sound very convincing to me that you really gotta put in a lot of effort into them.
It's going to be a hard year. You know, there were a lot of guys leaving the team for this month. Clay Matthews, Randall Cobb, they're gone. Well, it's going to be a hard year, but I still believe.
Well, I
I
have
still
to be
believe.
honest too. I've been sort of asking around. I see the dynasty of the Patriots winning streak obviously going down somewhere soon. I would like to see Brady walk off with all his trophies now. I don't want to see him hurt. I don't want to see anybody hurt, but there's no need to get hurt in order to leave the game. But how do you rebuild a team that's been so forged around for certain people, certain coaches, and then all of a sudden everybody's, little by little, everybody's starting to retire? I don't know about that, but I'm just hopeful that, well, if he's going to stay behind quarterbacking one more year for New England, I hope they do very well. Pero, I being 40 and playing back there in this league, you're taking chances I don't see necessary, but vamos a ver. So with that, I say that we're going to have a better playing record than you guys. That's my prediction.
It could be. Well, I don't lose the hope. I still believe in the end, and Patriots is going to be a hard year as well because I was thinking on Brady's retirement, and as you said, the whole playbook is built around him, and Belichick, he must change the whole thing now.
Yeah.
They did great this year, even when the offense went to Detroit, and they did great. Obviously, they're champions, but I think it's going to be harder for Belichick to build something around someone that is not Tom Brady, for sure.
Yeah, I see that being the major issue facing New England. But if he's going to stay in, I wish the team the very best. I'm going to stick with him one more year, and we'll see the following year. But we've got to have a better record than you guys. And so, Yaves, every time you and we get my team against your team, we get a lot of food. We sit there and we cheer each other and enjoy the game.
Yes, that's the idea. that's the point of watching the NFL.
And watching it,
having a good
and
time.
watching it in two different countries. I watch it from here, and you're watching it from Mexico City. And thanks to satellites, people can watch it anywhere in the world. Unfortunately, sometimes if you're on the other side of the world, you're watching it at 1 o'clock in the morning. But what the heck, you get to watch it.
Yeah. Once when I was in Austria, I was watching that Packers game in San Francisco. It was about 3 o'clock in the morning in Austria, and they were playing at 3 o'clock in California.
Yeah, and people they go to bars. There's special bars that'll open at 4 in the morning just so that people can go see the game. And like you say, in Europe or in some Asia countries, people still watch it. And they're fans everywhere in the world. It really is an international sport. So thank you for being my guest on the show here. And this show is also yours. Ladies and gentlemen, we've been talking to Rodrigo Espinosa Najera in Mexico City. I'm Armando F. Sanchez in Los Angeles. And here we are on our show looking at the different ideas of football. And we invite you to be part of the discussion on our next show as well. So you can email me at afsanchez66@gmail.com. And remember, this is our program, Scrimmage Live, with two amigos. Rodrigo, let's get started with the season. I can't wait for it any further. Let's get it going here. We lost contact over here. It's one of the problems with the internet. But ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for being on our program. Oh, there he is. He's back again. Rodrigo. Hello. 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 You're there. Yeah, you're still there?
Hey, hello.
All right.
Can you hear me?
Thanks, Rodrigo. And we'll come back with the show one more time and take your notes down, and we'll compare who's the better team. One more question.
Next month.
One question before we sign off, and then we're going to have to come back on another show and talk about after the draft and all that. So who do you think will be the top two teams when we come down to Super Bowl 2020?
The Green Bay Packers, maybe
I lost you a little. Our internet got disconnected a bit. Who are you putting your money on?
Okay, I will make it on the Green Bay Packers.
Okay,
and Houston Texans.
And who's the second one?
Houston Texans.
Who? Yeah.
Houston Texans.
Yeah, they look pretty good. Okay. All right. This is my turn. Brady and Houston.
Yes.
Brady and Houston. And then who's going to win the Super Bowl? New England. One more year. I don't know how they're going to do it, but hey, I'm going to go with my team.
Yeah. You have, well, it will be again after the draft.
All right. Well, let's talk after the draft. We'll pay attention to what's going on and see who's up in front. So we'll keep our tabs on it. Rodrigo, thank you for being my co-partner here in this show today. Scrimmage line between two amigos. Ándale pues, Rodrigo. Cuídate, ¿eh?
Bien, Armando.
Un abrazo a todos. Adiós.